Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome back. WatchMojo has just dropped the top 10 most badass anime moments of the century so far. We're not even quarterway through the century, but they've dropped this. And I'm very interested to dig into it because I'm a badass anime connoisseur, a badass anime character connoisseur. So I'm looking for some specific things. Let's see if WatchMojo has any of those. Okay, Zaraki Kenpachi starting off strong with Bleach. I'm probably gonna skip this because this looks like it's from the new season, and I have yet to watch the newest season. But this is a fat W because Zaraki Kenpachi is probably the most badass character in Bleach, and you could have put probably any of his moments on this list, and I would have been happy. So I'm gonna give this a fat W, even though I haven't seen the newest season. I just know it's probably badass. Let me skip past this. Okay. I just don't think there's anything in the Jujutsu Kaisen anime where you're putting anything at top 10. You know what I mean? Of the century. We're talking about all the anime from this century. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen just. There's just nothing in there that should be on the top 10 of the century. Yeah, so that's. I'm not happy with this one, to be honest.
Number 8, Naruto arrives.
Okay, Naruto arrives is a really dope moment. Yeah, for sure. Naruto arrives to fight Pain. That's probably the best moment in Shippuden. And yeah, it's 100% a badass moment when he after he comes back training and he gets the Sage mode transformation. Insane. And the fight it's a bit whack though because he kind of comes way too late. You know, Pain's already destroyed the entire village and then Naruto shows up and it's like, okay, that's badass, man, but like you could have showed up a little bit earlier, you know what I mean? But yeah, no, this is a badass moment for sure. So I'll give this a W. No, no, no. What? Are they talking about the fight with Muscular? Please no.
But we've got to admit, his Batman phase is all kinds of epic.
That's terrible. That's terrible. What are you talking about? Why would you look? Don't get me wrong. Like a lot of people hate on My Hero Academia. I'm a big fan of My Hero Academia. I get it. Like the newest seasons haven't been fantastic, and I haven't really enjoyed some of the last few seasons. But the first 2, 3 seasons of My Hero Academia is still some of the best shonen seasons ever. And there are badass moments. There's definitely badass moments in My Hero Academia, but this is not it. Big all. This is a massive all. This shouldn't. This wouldn't even be in the top 100 for me. There's so many badass anime moments. This is no way. This is the top 100. Terrible. No, it should be nowhere near the list. Okay, there we go. We got it. We got the Escanor pick. Yeah, I mean Escanor 1000% has to be on a badass anime list when Escanor gets introduced. I mean, I personally like this is a fantastic moment when he fights Estarossa. I personally would have put the Galen fight. When he makes Galen invoke his own commandment, it was just the most badass introduction of any character ever. So, I mean, Escanor is the epitome of badass, and one of his moments has to be on the list. I would have preferred Galen, but this is not a bad pick either. Yeah, Escanor's badass, man. If I was ranking like most badass characters, Escanor's definitely in the 10. Oh, okay. Is this a badass moment? I don't. It really depends on your definition of badass. This is an incredible moment. Like this is one of the best moments in the anime. It is such like with him face to face against Reina after after like all their history, and then for Eren to do this. I don't know if I call it badass necessarily, you know, but it is certainly one of my favorite moments of the anime. So I don't mind it. But like if you're doing a badass anime list, like come on, like there's other stuff you should be putting here. Like if you're doing top 10 anime scenes of all time, then this is in the top 10 probably. But badass anime moments, I don't know if I'd put it there. But because it's such a good scene, I'm gonna allow it. Levi's fight against the Beast Titan is far more badass in my opinion.
Not only number 4, Wrath's Return. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
I,
Given his long list of atrocities,
I don't
I'm
know.
exactly inclined to root
I
for
don't
Ken
know.
Bradley as he makes his return to the battlefield.
I'm not
Damn
putting
if this
anything for Full Metal
counterattack
Alchemist on the most
continues,
badass
his
list.
sprees of
You
destruction
know, I'm
will
just not
fade.
putting anything. Like Full Metal Alchemist is a great anime, but beyond that, like it's not badass. I mean, he has his moments, but there's just nothing in here that I put. Remember, this is of the century. This is top 10 badass anime moments of the century. So I don't know.
Number 3, Ultra Instinct. Dragon Ball Super.
Okay.
Not since the time Goku first
Again, like,
evolved has a
look, Ultra
Dragon Ball
Instinct,
transformation
badass
been
transformation, no doubt. But like, and Ultra Instinct is super badass. I love Ultra Instinct, but like, of the century, and you're putting it third. Like, Kenpachi is more badass than this, no doubt. You know? Like, I don't know, like, we're at number 3, and really, the only really badass thing they put on here was Kenpachi and Naruto. But like, it's pretty weak so far. This is not great. Oh, and Escanol. Okay, Escanol is a really good pick. Let's not stray. Escanol and Zaruki and Naruto. But only 3 so far, and we're at number 3 already. Disappointing.
Number 2, Zoro takes Luffy's
Okay.
One Piece.
Okay. I mean, iconic. Iconic. Zoro taking Luffy's pain and in the Thriller Bark arc is nothing short of iconic and nothing short of badass. Very, very badass moment. Is it the most badass moment in One Piece though? Is it the most badass moment in One Piece when you got Luffy using Konkurozaki for the first time to take out like 100 fishmen? When you've got Shanks showing up to the Marineford War against all the Marines and one of the biggest pirate crews, like the biggest pirate crew at the time, and him showing up and just stopping the war just because he showed up. Like his presence alone stopped the entire war. This is a very badass moment, and I think a lot of people would put this as the most badass moment in One Piece. I wouldn't though. I think there's so much more badass moments in One Piece, but that's just me. Don't get me wrong though, incredibly badass moment, and Zoro's incredibly badass character.
If you're on your phone, make sure
Dude, this is probably gonna be a take that no one's gonna agree with, but Demon Slayer should have moments in here. Even with only 2 seasons, Demon Slayer is fucking chock full of incredibly badass moments. How did Jujutsu Kaisen get on here and not Demon Slayer? I don't know, man. Like, for some reason, all these IGNs and WatchMojo that really suck Jujutsu Kaisen's dick, and I don't get it. Let's see.
Number 1, Kitan's death.
Oh no fucking no honorable mentions. But number 1, Kitan's death. I mean, I should probably be more mad about this than I am, but Gurren Lagann is literally my favorite anime of all time. So I can't be mad. I can't be mad that they put Gurren Lagann at number 1. Even though, objectively, there's no way on earth this is the most badass anime moment of the century so far. One Punch Man! One Punch Man and Mob Psycho! Like, what are you doing? There's so many badass moments in that, and not even a single one. Like, but it's difficult for me to stay mad because Gurren Lagann is literally my favorite anime. So I'm happy that it got number 1, but at the same time, like, it shouldn't be. Objectively, it just shouldn't be. Gurren Lagann is the epitome of badass as an anime. As a complete anime, it's probably like if you made a top 10 most badass anime in general, Gurren Lagann has to be in the top 10, if not the top 3. But if you're talking about specific moments, there really isn't a specific moment in Gurren Lagann that I'm picking out and putting on the top 10 badass anime moments of the century. Maybe right at the end when they do the big battle and they're just throwing like galaxies at each other. That was awesome. And that was pretty badass. But otherwise, like, the anime as a whole is incredibly badass, but no specific moments that would beat out moments from JoJo's, moments from One Piece, moments from Bleach, moments from One Punch Man. And so I'm happy that Gurren Lagann's here, but I'm also very unhappy that this is what took number 1 spot. No Vinland Saga. What are you doing, WatchMojo? I mean, this list is an L, right? It's an L. Like, there's no other way to look at it. The only really badass stuff they had was Escanol. Zaraki Kenpachi, and the Naruto scene. They put Deku. They put Deku on the list. Deku's never done anything. I love Deku. He's awesome. But he's never done anything to be on the top 10 most badass moments of the century. No ways. Like, Deku's on the list. Jujutsu Kaisen is on the list. But not One Punch Man. Not Saitama. You know? Not Torfin. I. This is now. Like, there's so. Like, anime is chock full. Not a single sports anime. Anyone who watches anime knows that sports anime is literally some of the most badass, like, mediums in the entire genre. And to not have anything from Hajime no Ippo, not have anything from Haikyuu, not have anything from Food Wars. I, dude, terrible, terrible. Yeah, I'm giving this list like I'll give this list a 3 out of 10 for having three moments that should actually be on the list.